promise you, he whispered. You can stop me. Jungkook didn't stop him. At this time, it was an accidental. Their lips met fully, slow, warm, melting. A kiss that held everything that had said and then pulled apart. Jungkook whispered, "Why me?" Early morning, when Theong asked Jungkook to get dressed and accompany him for a drive, Jungkook was half sleepy yawning as he slipped under jeans and a soft blue sweater Theong had secretly bought. And once he said, "Look like the sky in your eyes," he thought they were going somewhere for breakfast. He didn't know Theong had already called ahead, set a table, arranged the meeting. His heart thudding in his chest every minute they reached Jungkook's old home just before 9 a.m. Jungkook moaned as they parked outside the familiar gate. "Time?" he asked, blinking. Kyung looked his hand, warm, firm. "Sure, there's something I need to ask," he said. "Not just from you, but from your father." Jungkook stared up, confused, but he could fully process the door open, and there stood his father, held there now, holding the very cane he used to lean on when the business had just started collapsing. He blinked in surprise. "Kyung-ji, Jungkook, what's..." Kyung wore deeply, not like a mafia boss, but like a man in love. "Mr. June," he said respectfully, voice calm but full of emotion, "I'm not here to speak as someone who was owed anything. I'm here as a man who is hopelessly in love with your son." Jungkook's eyes widened. "Time?" Young didn't glance at him, kept his gaze on the elder man, strong and unwavering. "I have loved him since the moment I saw how he threw himself between you and me, since the day he looked me in the eye with more courage than I have seen in any of my men, since the day he made my home feel like something worth protecting, since he laughed and it made everything else in the world quieter." He took a deep breath, then continued, voice cracking just slightly. "I want to marry him, not out of debt, not out of power, not out of ownership, but because I want to wake up every day and know I'm loved by someone I don't deserve, and I want to spend the rest of my life deserving him." The room fell into silence. Jakey's heart felt like it might leap out of his chest. His father looked shocked, overwhelmed, and for a while moment no one spoke. Then Jungkook's father stepped forward and held out an envelope. "This is the money I owed you," he said softly. "Every last penny. My friend helped me pull it together when I heard Jungkook was living with you. I was ashamed he should not have been the price." Young gently pushed the envelope back. "No, sir. The debt ended the day he stepped into my house." But Mr. June shook his head. "I borrowed it, not him. Let me return it. Let me clear his name so he start that marriage with pride." Young's throat tightened. He slowly accepted it just to honor the man's dignity, and Mr. June stepped forward, placing his hands gently on Young's shoulders. "Then take care of him," he said. "He's stubborn, he's picky with his food, he sleeps with a blanket over his head like a turtle when he's sad, but he has the biggest heart I have ever seen. Don't let him lose it." Young wore again deeply. "I won't." The wedding was planned faster than anyone expected, not because of urgency, but because Theong couldn't wait any longer. "I have waited long enough," he whispered against Theong's. "Jungkook's here that night. I want you with my name enter my room in my arms, not as a guest, as my husband." Jungkook blushed. "You're dramatic, and you're mine." They didn't spend the last night together. Jungkook moved back to his father's home just for the confusion, and Theong let him go with the most miserable expressions imaginable. It was their final night apart. Jungkook was in his room, cold under the covers, heart thudding in his chest. He was getting married tomorrow to Kim Kyung, the man who once he hated, the man who now held his entire heart in his palm like a secret. Just as he was about to turn up the lamp, he heard a soft sound at the window. A faint click. He sat up. What the hell? The window creaked open and it stepped Kyung. Dressed in all black, put over his head, looking like the most expensive cat burglar alive. "Are you serious?" Jungkook whispered, mouth open in disbelief. Seong grinned and just slightly locked the window behind him. "Shh. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm a man on mission. You snuck in? You think I'll sleep tonight knowing I won't see you until the altar tomorrow? You're ridiculous. You're beautiful." Kyung's mom walked over slowly and pulled the blanket off. Jungkook said, "Hi," he whispered. Jungkook sighed, but his smile betrayed him. "Hi." Kyung rubbed his cheeks. "I'm not saying Staying, just wanted one kiss, just one. Jungkook rolled his eyes. One, Kyung nodded solemnly, but the moment their lips met, the one kiss became two, then three, then a long breathless hug by the bed. With whispered, I love you, trembling the silence. When Kyung finally stepped back out of the window, he turned and whispered, tomorrow you're mine. Jungkook whispered back, hand pressed to the glass. I already know. Wearing it, Young stood in the end of the aisle wearing a custom black sherwani with some silver embroidery around the sleeves, hair swept back, eyes searching for one thing, only one. When Jungkook appeared, Young stopped breathing. He wore a soft, ebony handbook, the traditional wrap gently hugged in his frame, his hair parted neatly, skin glowing like straight hands trembling as he walked slowly toward the man he once thought was his enemy, the man who now loved more than air. When Jungkook reached him, they didn't speak. They didn't need to. Kyung held out his hand wordlessly. Jungkook slipped his finger in, exhaling softly. I look okay? Jungkook whispered, trying not to stutter. Kyung didn't even blink. He looked like forever. The ceremony was small. No rules, just words spoken from heart. Kyung went first. I used to think love was weakness, that letting someone into your world was like handing them a gun to your chest, he said quietly. But then you walked in and you didn't hurt me, you healed me, you made the emptiest room feel like home. Jungkook bit his lip, young voice cracked. You're stubborn, loud, honest, and impossible to control, and yet I have never felt safer, never felt more myself. I promise to protect you with everything I have. I promise to have you, to give you a life that feels like softness and fire at the same time. And I promise to never let a day go by where you question how much I love you. Then it was Jungkook's turn. He tried to speak, but he had to pause. His voice was shaking. I never planned to love you, he finally whispered. I hated you. I was scared of you, but somewhere between these slow and fleeting moments and the way you looked at me like I mattered, I felt for you so hard. I don't know how I understood before. Young was openly crying now, and I promise, Jungkook said, holding both his hands tightly, that no matter what happened, I'll never let you forget how human you are, how lovable, how worthy. I'll stand by you even when the whole world forgets you deserve to be held. Because softly, when the rings were exchanged. The door clicked shut behind them. Hyung stood still for a second, just watching. Jungkook walked into their bedroom, now their shared bedroom. Jungkook wearing black felt rooted slightly as he stepped back toward the bed, his back to Hyung, fingers curling nervously by his side. He looked so small in that moment, yet so incredibly strong for standing beside Hyung. Despite all the odds, despite the fears, despite the chaotic way they had come into each other's life, Hyung's steps were slow as he approached him. The air felt charged, heavy with emotion. You nervous, Hyung said softly, standing behind him. Jungkook turned slightly, lifting his gaze a little. Kyung gently reached forward and pressed his knuckle against Jungkook's cheeks. You don't have to leave. There was a silence. Kyung took a deep breath, his voice slow but sincere. Jungkook, I know tonight is special. It's our wedding night, but that doesn't mean we have to do anything. Jungkook blinked up at him. Kyung smiled gently, taking his strand of Jungkook's hair back. If you're not ready, if your heart feels unsure, even if it's just a little, we can wait. I'll sleep right there beside you and won't touch you unless you ask me to. You don't owe me anything yet. You're already mine all the way that matters. Jungkook stared at him speechless. That voice, the warmth, the way Kyung held him like he was something fragile but not to be broken, but treasure. And then without warning, Jungkook leaned up just to kiss Kyung's lips. It was soft, sudden, a little shaky, but bold. Kyung's eyes widened at the lips met, but he didn't move, didn't grab or pull. He just closed his eyes and melted slowly into the place, responding gently. After a few seconds, Jungkook pulled back, flushed, face turning towards the pink. He looked down at the floor, knitting his bottom lip nervously. I want this, he whispered. I'm ready, I just get shy sometimes. Kyung's eyes melted. He took Jungkook's head in his own and kissed his knuckles one by one. You're the most beautiful thing I have ever laid eyes on. You know that? Jungkook looked up shyly. Even when I'm this awkward. Especially then, Kyung said with a grin. He leaned down again, slower this time, giving Jungkook the chance to stop him, but Jungkook didn't pull away. The lips met again tenderly, lovingly. Kyung's finger cupped the side of Jungkook's neck, tracing the warmth of his skin. As the kiss deepened, so did the emotion between them. No rush, no fire, just connection. Kyung lifted him carefully and laid him on the bed, their robe still on, his hands never straying. They just lay there together for a long time, lips pushing, nose touching, arms wrapped tightly around each other like the world outside didn't exist. Young whispered between kisses, "You can tell me to stop anytime and I'll stop. I'll always listen to you." But Jago only whispered back, cheeks burning, "Don't stop. Not tonight." Thing smiled against his lips, and then neither bodies finally met with love, not desire with consent, not expectations, but quiet voice and soft sighs. Jungkook's name fell from Theon's lips like a prayer, and Jungkook, sleep in the arms of the man who once terrified him, learned what it truly meant to be cherished. The sun beat softly through the half-drawn curtains, its golden light spilling across the bed, with two tangled bodies laid in a cocoon of warm shades. Jungkook stirred first, his eyelashes fluttered, lips slightly parted, a sleepy groan escaping as it turned, only to be met with the heavy weight of an arm around his waist and the slow rhythm of another heartbeat beside its own. He blinked once, then twice, and when he finally looked up and found Pyong sleeping soundly next to him, shirtless, just rising and falling slowly. His brown hair was a dull, still mess, and his face looked far softer without the weight of the world sitting beside his usual expressions. Jungkook's cheeks burned with the memory of the last night. Oh, how he kissed Theon first, oh, how he asked him to not stop, oh, how he let go for the first time and simply felt her. Now they were married truly, deeply, in more than name. He made the slightest move to shift away, but Theon's I'm tired instantly. No, came his husky voice, morning, mom, muffled and half asleep. Stay right there, husband. Jungkook froze, wearied for breakfast. Theon opened one eye, smiling as he saw the blush coming across Jungkook's cheeks. Are you blushing already? You were bolder than me last night. I wasn't, Jungkook steamed. Oh no, then who said don't stop, not tonight? While looking at me in the eye with fire. Die, Jungkook squealed, covering his face over the blanket. Hyung laughed, a deep warm sound that ruffled from his chest as he shifted closer and gently pulled the blanket down from Jungkook's face, and his expression softened. All the playfulness melted into something tender and real. Hey, he said quietly, brushing the fingers across Jungkook's cheeks. Thank you. Jungkook went caught off guard. For what? For trusting me, the young whispered, pressing his forehead to Jungkook's. With your body, with your heart, your first time. I don't take that lightly. There was silence. I would have waited a year, 10 years if that's what it took, but you gave me this moment and I'll carry it like a treasure until the day I die. Jungkook's throat tightened, his chest ached with how much emotion filled. That one moment he reached up and touched Theon's face, thumb stroking his cheekbone. You have made me feel more safe in your arms than I felt ever. Theon's eyes glistened. He pulled Jungkook close again, wrapping both arms around him and tucking his nose into the crook of his neck. They lay like that, for a long time. No rush, no words, just heart melting, beating together. Later, Theon insisted on carrying Jungkook to the bathroom, teasing gently about how his husband could barely walk. Jungkook hit him with a pillow, only for Theon to catch it midair and kiss him, breathless, against the doorframe. And in every corner of the mansion that morning, from the steaming breakfast, Theon cooked himself to a robe he wrapped around Jungkook's shoulder. There was one thing louder and clear. Jungkook wasn't just married, he was loved wholly, deeply, endlessly.